Hey everybody, my name is Zach,
And I'm Dave.
and we're back with another exciting episode of The Founder's Life. In this episode, we're going to be talking about 11 Labs IO, which basically just launched their own AI audio studio that can do everything audio with AI. And then next is, it's called Wordsmith AI, I believe, and it's basically out to, in my opinion, replace law firms or at least legal assistants. And then last but not least is an idea of the day, which relates to healthcare and AI. So hopefully, if you guys are dealing with that, this will actually help you out a little bit. So, Dave? Why don't we jump into the first one, which is 11 Labs. So let's just go over this real quick, which is you can now generate AI voiceovers, which they've already been able to do for a while, but you can generate your own podcasts and sound effects using AI. So, Dave, just give me your initial gut reactions of when you watch this video. They literally just released it like yesterday.
First of all, for those that don't know what 11 Labs is, just to kind of get a little deeper with it, 11 Labs, I wouldn't even call them like an AI voice generator thing, even though that's what they do. Like what they are building is absolutely incredible in terms of voices. They're in 29 language, like every single conceivable accent that you could think of, they have it. Different dialects, different genders, everything you need to have a proper voice they have. And all you need to do is put in the text, which, by the way, you could generate using AI. And it comes out and it doesn't, sometimes it sounds like a robot, but like most of the time it sounds pretty close to being a human. And like, it's getting better every day. And, they have like, what fascinates me with the way they do things is it's more of a normal dialect. So it's, people pause more naturally or have like different intonalities or different flows to the way they talk. Like this talks a little more like a human versus a robot.
Yep.
And the thing that they just came out with that fascinates me, they essentially created an audio editor where you could essentially build an entire audio track with 11 labs. So if you
Yep.
want to have multiple characters or multiple people in a video, you're able to utilize 11 labs to generate you different forms of text to speech. So I find this very fascinating. I don't necessarily want to get rid of like human voiceovers because I think like those are really strong and I love having like humans in videos. I think that's like something that's very powerful. But there's like a very strong use case to do it. I don't love the idea that you could like make a podcast that like where AI is talking to you. Um, However, but I think about like some levels of like inclusivity where like maybe someone, has a disability where they can't speak out loud, but they want to still have a voice. Like this gives them a way to like type stuff up and give like a text to speech thing that sounds like not a robot.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's two levels you can look at this. You can take, well, I'm sure very many different levels, but the one level of thinking is this is awful. This is replacing everybody. They shouldn't be doing this. Humans are so much better, but all this other stuff. Then there's the other side, which is I think it's pretty cool that people can create limitless things now to an extent, right? I think it will be powerful up against a presidential election in the U.S., which is coming up in November. But aside from that, I think there's a lot of powerful, cool things you can do that it's democratizing creativity for everyone. And I'm a big proponent on that, where it's if we just not to do a full history lesson, but if you go back 5-10 years, right? So listeners listening to this, 5-10 years, people were basically putting this up against a microphone and scraping on it or smashing against it. There were literally rooms designed for that, where they would have these sound design studios where you were crumbling on certain things. And what I found most interesting with this whole studio is the AI voiceovers. I think that was a no-brainer, right? That's been around for a while. But the fact that you can do sound effects using AI, to me, actually blew my mind more than the AI voiceovers. And why is that? It's because 5, 10, 15 years ago, we were kind of like how what we look at the way in which they built houses back in the day, like these little like huts, like that's what we almost looked like, right? And now we're in this whole advanced level where you type in sound effect of a car racing by. You could even say, Mercedes Benz S Class, whatever. And it has it. And you're like, what the hell? How did you do that? So that's where I think I was blown away by the most when I sent this over to you.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there's a art in like filmmaking, sound design called Foley filmmaking, and Foley filmmaking is like basically the background of any movie a lot of them are done with what's called Foley sound, and they essentially will take the video and like let's say there's like a breeze blowing in the background. They'll have a Foley sound lab where they'll mimic that breeze with a fan.
Yep.
And then, let's say there's like some gunshots, they'll mimic the gunshots. And, it's a way to like create very nuanced sound effects. And I highly recommend to any of you, like go on YouTube and like watch a couple of videos on Foley sound. It's actually very fascinating the way they put it together. But I'm curious, like what effect this is going to have on Foley sound. Because, these sound labs, like they're literally sitting there with like boards scraping, like they're doing all this crazy stuff to replicate sounds. There's one guy who like founded this technique of Foley sound. I think it was like a guy named Jack Foley. So it's named for him, and he developed this whole technique. And they have like warehouses of things that they use to like create footsteps, everything from door, a squeaking door to glass. But can you just do it with AI now? Like I don't really have the answer to that one, but I just think it's fascinating that this is an alternative to that standard like sound effect creation technology, the old technology, which was really done manually.